if you want to win the conference or you want to be considered a good program, you have to beat the teams that are usually on top. That's what it means anywhere you've been. And things only become a rivalry when you make it competitive and you're competing for a championship. For years, the Michigan-Ohio State game was a big game because it meant who won the Big Ten. For years, for years it was Florida and Tennessee. It's not as big anymore if it doesn't mean for the championship. So that's what you want it to be. You want it to be where it's competitive from both ends. So that's probably the start of it. And then obviously they're in the same state as we are. For God's sakes, it's called the Sooner State. So when you have a program that's been as successful as theirs has, there's no question that I don't know if you want to call it that you're envious, but that's where you want to be. That's where you aspire to be. You want to be somewhere where you have a chance to win every game, and you can compete. And I think Mike's done a great job of getting us to that point to where our players believe we can compete.
It's been a while since you guys have gone down there and won a game. What makes that place so hard to play, you think?
Well, anytime you play on the road, it's hard. And then usually it's hard because they're really good. I mean, it's hard to win on the road anyways, but then it's hard to win on the road with teams that are well coached and have really good players. That's what makes it hard. Over the last couple of years, our place has been really hard to play at. Why? Because we've got good coaches, we've got good players. That's why it's hard. So the players and the coaches, obviously the crowd, but the players and the coaches make it a hard place to play.
West Virginia's clearly pretty talented at their skill guys, but OU's defense definitely looked pretty vulnerable Saturday.
Well, they're different than we are. I mean, what West Virginia presented to OU, I'm not sure we're capable of. I mean, we don't have Tavon Austin as put in the backfield and really put him in a bind. I promise you there's things they did looking at it later that they would change, but in that short time to make those decisions, and the guy's a special player. And every week's different, what we present and what they'll see with us, I don't know. I mean, I think they do a really good job. I think they're well coached. I think they've got really good players. I don't see it as, okay, 1 week this team did that. Otherwise, someone will look at what we did at Kansas and say we're not any good on offense, which is not true.
Coach, you have some really solid athletes at the defensive backs. What kind of challenges does that present whenever you're trying to call the offense?
Well, they match up well with you. I mean, they're not afraid to put extra DBs on the field. I mean, they've made a conscientious decision, and it's on film, that they're going to play you in forms of man. They're going to match up with you and force you to execute. And they're going to put athletic guys out there that have a chance to cover you. So that's our challenge, is to find ways, which is probably pretty smart for a league that likes to throw it a bunch. So what we have to do is figure out ways that we can run it and throw it effectively, which we've tried to do most of the whole year. Now, when we've been able to run it, it's given ourselves a better chance to move it. That's the challenge, is they're going to match you athletically.
What is the latest quarterback situation?
You got to talk to Mike about that. I'm done trying to guess, because I say something and he says something, so you can ask Mike.
Is that just something that happens during the week, I guess?
Well, it's never been to where it's happened during the week. I mean, every week we've been doing this, we've known you have to give the reps to the guy you think is going to be the starter. So it's, whether we announce it beforehand or we don't, that's up to Mike.
I guess you can have one good game and you get lucky, or 1.5 good games you get lucky, but after a while, you start to get a picture of the guy's pretty good. That's pretty kind of synopsis.
I think the more you build a sample size of anything you do, I think you get an idea of what you think a player will do. Obviously, as I said before, our players playing well around our quarterback makes a big difference. The teams you play make a big difference. Playing at home makes a big difference. So this will all build in sample size. This will be a big challenge for us this week and for our quarterback, whoever it is. And we'll see where we're at after Saturday.
It being the Sooner State, like you said, is it more of a challenge for you guys? Is it looking for the right word? Knowing who you're going up against, the fact that you guys know some of the coaches on the other team, you certainly know that coaching staff better than most people on the team. Is this more of a fun week for you guys, more of a challenge for you, take a personal challenge?
I don't know. Mike might be, because his brother's on the staff. I just know this. They're down the road. They usually stand in the way of winning the league. you're in the Sooner State. This isn't just another game. I told the guys on offense, the moment you just played as another game, you've lost your mind. This isn't just a normal game. This won't define you as a person, down the road. Okay, but the reality is this isn't a normal game. I mean, this is our state that we live in, along with them. It's a big game. It's a big game for our fans. It's a big game for the history of the two programs. You can only get beat down so much before you decide, hey, you know what? It's a bigger game than that. And our guys have to understand that, and that's taking nothing away from them. I mean, no disrespect to them. To our players, they better understand this is a big game.